welcome. You're watching this quiz in English with me, Hayley Edmonds. Now, you may or may not know, last night the British Fashion Awards got underway at the Royal Albert Hall, and the creme de la creme of fashion, of models, actors, actresses, even the Duchess Meghan former Markle was there, showing off her glowing bump, looking very beautiful, to give the Designer of the Year award to the woman who designed her Givenchy wedding dress. So anyway, why am I talking about the British Fashion Awards? Well, tonight, because I thought we'd do a special on British fashion. So €100 are up for grabs tonight. I'm going to be testing your fashion industry knowledge, everything that's British, of course. 9 questions between you and you getting your part of those €100. From the first question, which is worth 10 points, right up to question number 9, which is worth 100 points. So how does it work? We also give you 4 jokers, so 2 multiple jokers, one that will multiply your point score by 3 and another by 5, and 2 50-50s. Yes, it will take away 2 wrong answers of each question. I'm just going to put my earpiece back in here. So let's get started with question number 1 of this quiz in English on the British fashion industry. Question number 1. What is the name of the high street brand owned by Sir Philip Green? Is it Topshop? Is it New Look? Is it River Island? Or is it Primark? Now I want to know the name of the high street shop owned by Sir Philip Green. It's part of the Arcadia Group, and if you don't know, Sir Philip Green is worth a bit of money, £3.2 billion to be precise. And his most successful shop is, of course, Topshop. Topshop that actually do the runway at the British Fashion Week, or London Fashion Week. 32% of you got that one correct. 25% of you thought it was New Look. 19% of you thought it was River Island. And 24% of you thought it was that Irish chain Primark, or Pennies as it's known, in Ireland. Eyes Mellow Poo, you got that one right. Well done. So far as you got 10 points as well, so you're just going to be playing it light, starting off easy. Let's move on to question number 2. Mary Quant is widely associated with which garment? Is it dungarees? Is it the miniskirt? Is it the skort? Or is it nipple tassels? A skort is that kind of mid-skirt, mid-shorts kind of ensemble that was very fashionable in the 90s. Mary Quant was a designer in the 60s, and she was inspired by André Courrèges. For those of you who know a bit about French fashion, you might give you a big clue as to the answer. She is associated with the miniskirt. Now, there is a kind of a debate as to whether it was her that was the first one, the pioneer of that, or if it was indeed Courrèges, but some sources do state Courrèges as being her inspiration. So she actually got London girls to wear this dress that was or skirt that was 6 or 7 inches above the knee, and she called it the Chelsea look. So there we go, and that's where the Chelsea look comes from. 46% of you got that one correct. 19% of you thought it was dungarees. 15% of you thought it was the skort, and 19% of you thought it was nipple tassels. Monica Kamal, you're on 30 points, so well done. Let's move on to question number 3 of this quiz in English on the British fashion industry. Question number 3. Which Spice Girl launched her self-named label in 2008? The fact that I said self-named is a big clue. Is it Emma Bunton? Is it Geri Halliwell? Is it Victoria Beckham? Or is it Melanie Chisholm? For those of you who don't know who is who, Emma Bunton is, of course, Baby Spice. Geri Halliwell is Ginger Spice. Victoria Beckham is Posh Spice. And Melanie Chisholm, Sporty Spice. So the Spice Girl that launched her self-named label in 2008 and was in fact, she won Designer Brand Award in 2001 at the British Fashion Awards. She's known now for being very sophisticated. She dresses very, very well, as her husband, who is, of course, David Beckham. It is Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham now has a lucrative clothing business that works extremely well. In fact, to the point where she kind of refused to take part in the Spice Girls reunion that's happening next year because she wants to focus on her fashion line. 65% of you got that one correct. 9% of you thought it was Sporty Spice. Whoa. I mean, it could be, she could be doing streetwear, but Melanie Chisholm isn't a brand. Sing Naked, you've got 100 points, so well done. You put your multiple down on, so you've already got rid of one of your jokers. I wonder if you're keeping it in your pocket for the one of the last 3 questions that will be worth 80 points, and then 100 points for question number 9. Question number 4. Which of these designers was born in Gibraltar? Is it John Galliano, Alexander McQueen, Ted Baker, or Ben Sherman? Which of these male designers was born in Gibraltar? He's actually British, so British born in Gibraltar. And which of these is born there? Now, just a few years ago, he caused quite a scandal in the Marais and was kicked out of his the fashion house, French fashion house, who he was working for at the time. The right answer is John Galliano. Yes, John Galliano, who is now working for Maison Margiela, where he's, you know, doing pretty well. He's kind of got over that. His rather shady past. Just hoping that everything is okay for you now, John, and that you kind of kept your rather rude remarks to yourselves. 46% of you got that one correct. 25% if you thought it was Alexander McQueen. 13% if you thought it was Ted Baker. And 15% of you thought it was Ben Sherman. Let's move on to question number 5 of this quiz in English. Which of these famous women has not collaborated with Marks and Spencer's? M&S is Marks and Spencer's, and it's quite well known as M&S as well. That's how I've kind of abbreviated it. Is it Alexa Chung, Holly Willoughby, Twiggy, or Victoria Beckham, again, the fashionable Spice Girl? Which of these famous women has not collaborated with Marks and Spencer's? Marks and Spencer's have really tried to kind of relaunch their image a bit more kind of youthful, cool, edgy. Well, not necessarily. Well, just kind of a bit more appealing fashion-wise. So the right answer, ladies and gentlemen, is Victoria Beckham. She has not collaborated with Marks and Spencer's. Twiggy has her own collection, as does Holly Willoughby, that sold out very recently, extremely quickly. Idem Alexa Chung, who had a collection in 2016. Shema, you got that one correct. You put down your joker for that one, so you got 120 points for that. You're very sure of that answer, I think. So let's move on to question number 5 of this quiz in English. No, number 6 even. Let's go on to number 6. Paul Smith's first career choice was to be a baker, to be a cyclist, to be a rugby player, or to be a mathematician. Now, Paul Smith is an extremely well-known British designer, a pillar of the London design scene. He has dressed David Bowie, well, everyone from David Bowie to Tony Blair. And he was even knighted in 2000 by the Queen. He has more than 40 years of experience in the fashion industry. But initially, before getting into fashion, he wanted to be a professional cyclist. So there we go. And the majority of you actually got that one correct. 42% of you got that one correct, to be precise. 18% of you thought he wanted to be a baker. You're getting confused with Ted, maybe. 21% of you thought he wanted to be a rugby player. Why not? And 18% of you a mathematician. Sebastian, well done. You got 200 points for that. Let's move on to question number 7. Who designed the 2012 Team Great Britain Olympic kit? Was it Victoria Beckham, Stella McCartney, John Galliano, or Ted Baker? Which of these designers created the 2012 Team Great Britain Olympic kit? Now, it's actually in collaboration with Adidas. Has to be, you know, professional sporting material, but who designed it? Was it Victoria Beckham, the Spice Girl herself? Was it the daughter of Paul McCartney, Stella? John Galliano, the Gibraltar crazy former Dior, now Maison Margiela? Or was it Ted Baker? The right answer is, of course, the daughter of the Beatle, Stella McCartney. Stella McCartney. She continued her collaboration with Adidas, and if I'm not mistaken, she's still going on, to really kind of make sportswear fashionable and appealing, because it used to be pretty, you know, bland. She added a bit of spice into it. And 68% of you got that one correct. 11% of you thought it was the Spice Girl, Victoria Beckham. 9% of you, John Galliano, and 12% Ted Baker. Eman, 400 points you got for that one. So, you put your times 5 down on that. You're pretty certain on that. Well done. Let's move on to question number 8. Which British dressmaker designed Duchess Kate's wedding dress? Kate Middleton, if anyone's wondering who it is. Is it Sarah Burton, Vivienne Westwood, Phoebe Philo, or Amanda Wakely? We're looking for the designer who designed Kate Middleton's wedding dress. I can say Kate Middleton because she was formerly Kate Middleton. So who designed it? She was working for Alexander McQueen, the British designer who unfortunately passed away in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. The designer of Duchess Kate's wedding dress is Sarah Burton. Sarah Burton, and once again, the majority of you got that one correct, including Ayat Sabri. You got that one right, my friend. You put your times 5 joker down as well. 61% of you got that one correct. 15% if you thought it was the crazy punk herself. Vivienne Westwood, that would have been quite original to see her in some kind of like tartan corset and ensemble, like Gwen Stefani's wedding dress, designed by Vivienne Westwood. Phoebe Philo, 10%, and 14% of you, Amanda Wakely. Let's move on to the final question of this quiz in English on the British fashion industry. Which famous British brand was launched in Basingstoke in 1856? Was it Fred Perry? Was it Vivienne Westwood? Was it Burberry? Or was it Ben Sherman? We're looking for the famous British brand that was launched in Basingstoke, Hampshire, in 1856. Now, this is how it became extremely fashionable in the 1990s with, how would I say, it was worn by everyone. It became, a lot of copies were made, and it became so copied that they changed their tartan design, and they sued a lot of people, including Target, who tried to copy that design. Their initial store was, they do a lot of outerwear, that was in their initial store. It was Thomas Burberry that created the brand, so the answer is Burberry. And he was 21 years old. Little did he know, it's an extremely huge, profitable British brand. And statistically, guys, most of you got that one right. 65% of you got that one right. 13% of you thought it was Vivienne Westwood. Oh, she's not that old. 10% of you thought it was Fred Perry, and 11% of you thought it was Ben Sherman. Eyes Mellow Poo. You got that one correct. You put your times 5 down as well. So well done. It was worth doing because you may be on your way to winning. Why not? Being a super winner and getting up to 960 points, in which case you would get an extra €50 on the for your prize. So 455 of you got more than 400 points, and you will be getting 22 cents, and the 84 super winners who will be taking home 82 cents. So well done, everyone who's won some money tonight. Thank you very much for playing this quiz in English with me, Hayley Edmonds, on the British fashion industry. I'll be back tomorrow night for another quiz on Be The One. So thank you very much for joining me, and until then, have a great evening. Goodbye.